Thank you so much, Brandon. Thank you for you and your team for organizing this protest tonight and creating a space for Black people to share our truth, because we don't always get a safe space to share our truth, and we don't always get the opportunity to speak our truth without getting punished in some sort of way, without getting judged or being fed a handful of white kindness and saying, oh, well, you should just be grateful for that. I'm grateful for my body, I'm grateful for the house I live in, I'm grateful for my family, but what I'm not grateful for is being mistreated. What I'm not grateful for is being treated unfairly because of the color of my skin. So, before I go any further, I want you to repeat two numbers for me. Say 25-8.
25-8.
Louder.
25-8.
Louder.
25-8.
So keep that in mind as I tell you a little story. Thank you. So, I remember being a toddler, 2, maybe 3 years old, and realizing, although I couldn't put words and true understanding of it at the time that I have now, I realized at that young age that the color of my skin was going to affect every aspect of my lived experiences for the rest of my entire life. And then flash forward to like 11, 12, 13, I started getting feelings, and I was like, oh, that guy who has that college ruled paper and I have, wide ruled paper, he's sitting next to me and he's got these cool colored pencils and he's kind of cute. But I didn't really know what that meant. I was like, oh, I like every time I look at him, I feel this like warm and fuzzy feeling inside. And I didn't know what that meant, but I came to realize that that was also going to have another layer of lived experiences and challenges on top of already being Black. So if you ask me what it's like to be Black in America and Black in the United States right now, I would say a million things. It's exhausting, it's tiring, it's annoying, it's challenging, it's hurtful, it's painful. Give me some other adjectives for my Black people in this audience. What else? Terrifying. I wake up in the morning thinking, what if I'm next? What if my brother is next? What if my mother is next? What if my family's next? What if my dad is next? What if my Black friends are next? Because we never know. And it's easy to say out of sight, out of mind, right? It's easy to say, it's not happening in my backyard, so I can turn a blind eye to it. It's easy to say, last week, everybody's posting and reposting those fucking videos, which needed to stop. It's easy to jump on the bandwagon when everyone else is reposting the same stuff on social media and there's uprisings and there's all this stuff happening. But I just want to say, the past 2 weeks were not a spirit week. The past 2 weeks are a representation of what's already been happening and what needs to stop. Say 25-8.
25-8.
Louder.
25-8.
One more time.
25-8.
Another question. Why are you here today? We gotta do what we gotta do. Because for literally ever, Black people have had to prove to white America that we matter. We don't get to just walk this earth and just exist. We have to fight to prove that we matter. We have to fight to prove that we deserve the same rights. If you had told me when I was that 12-year-old sitting at that table who didn't yet realize I was gay, or that 3-year-old Shaq who realized, wow, being Black is gonna be really challenging growing up and beyond. If you had reached out to me at those 2 ages and said, what's the most expensive thing that you think you're gonna have to pay for as an adult? At that age, I probably would have said a house or a car or whatever, but now I'm like, human rights is the most expensive thing that Black people have had to pay for, and we still don't have it. So that's why we're here tonight, right?
Yeah.
And to the white people who are in this audience, to the non-Black people of color who are coming out tonight and who have been supporting in various ways, I thank you. And I want to ask you, what are you going to continue doing? How are you going to take the information, the knowledge, the testimonials that you've been given these past 2 weeks and way before that, and really elicit true, continuous, ongoing change in our communities? What conversations are you having? What barriers are you helping to break down? How are you helping to move and get rid of systemic injustice for good? How are you helping to deconstruct racism within your own lives and have those conversations? How are you working to deconstruct racism and eliminate it in the workplace? It goes on. And that's why I said 25-8, because it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop when you log off of Facebook. It doesn't stop when you go home tonight. It doesn't stop. And for Black people, we don't have the privilege of being able to turn it off and go on autopilot when we log off Facebook and when we go home, because it is with us 24/7, which means the work needs to be done 25/8. It needs to not stop. It needs to keep going on when it's not going viral. So let's hear those numbers one more time. 25/8. The work doesn't stop. What?
25/8.
The work continues for how long?
25/8.
One more time, because I love hearing it. 25/8. Thank you.